If you've ever wished you could expose a narcissist for who they truly are, or felt powerless watching someone you love be mistreated, then buckle up. This isn't just about revenge. It's about setting the record straight. Hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready for one of the most satisfying real-life stories you'll hear today. My dad died on December 1st, 2022. He had been sick for over 15 years, slowly worn down by chronic illness that took a piece of him every year. And the person who should have stood by him, my mother, only made it worse. From the outside, she played the role of a caregiver. But behind closed doors, she was anything but. She controlled the money, constantly flirted with men online, and told anyone who'd listen that they were separated or divorced. She uses declining health as leverage, emotionally and financially. She was cold, cruel, and calculated. And the worst part? We couldn't get her out. No matter how many legal avenues we tried, restraining orders, welfare checks, power of attorney, we were told it was a civil matter. The system failed him, over and over. He didn't want to leave the home he paid for, the home he built his life in, and I respected that. I begged him for years to come live with me, where he'd be safe, but he held on, and so did she, like a parasite clinging to a dying host. Eventually, his health reached a point of no return. I brought him home on hospice the day after Thanksgiving. I cleared a room, brought in the medical equipment, and made sure every second of his final days was peaceful, filled with love, and free of her venom. For once, he was surrounded by real care. After he passed, I did everything to honor his final wishes. Funeral planning, finances, paperwork. But there was one massive roadblock. The cremation couldn't go forward without her signature. Let that sink in. After everything she did, after all the years of disrespect and cruelty, I still had to ask her for permission to carry out his wishes. And, of course, she said no. She wanted control, even that. She only relented when I allowed her to keep the Social Security survivor benefits. Benefits that were hers anyway. She thought she'd won. But I had something else in mind. I wrote his obituary. Every word carefully chosen. Every sentence honoring the man he was. Strong, kind, stubborn, loving. But I left out one thing entirely. Her. Not a single mention of her name. No loving wife. No grieving widow. In the story of his life, she did not exist. When the obituary was published, the fallout was immediate. Family, friends, co-workers. Everyone started asking questions. Where's her name? Why isn't she mentioned? Were they divorced? And I didn't lie. For the first time, I told the truth. About the years of manipulation. About the narcissism. About how she treated my father not as a husband, but as a burden. And the beautiful thing? People believed me. Because they remembered things. The way she talked down to him. The strange posts she'd make on Facebook. The men she'd flirt with online. The cracks in her devoted wife image began to crumble. Fast. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I simply told the truth. And that was more powerful than anything. This woman, who spent decades building a public image of being the long-suffering wife, watched it all fall apart. She lost control of the narrative. Her victim mask was ripped off. And I made sure everyone knew what kind of person she really was. She tried to fight back, of course. Tried to paint me as ungrateful, bitter, even evil. But it didn't work. Because I had years of therapy, truth, and receipts behind me. My voice was louder now. And I wasn't afraid anymore. So no, she didn't get her name in his obituary. She didn't get sympathy from mourners. She didn't get to play the grieving widow in front of his casket. Instead, she got silence, whispers, judgmental stares, and the unbearable weight of being exposed. She spent years trying to make me feel small, but I made sure her lies were even smaller. She thought I'd never speak up. She was wrong. Sometimes revenge isn't loud. It's not dramatic. It's quiet, honest, and powerful. And sometimes the best revenge is simply telling the truth and letting it burn to the lies someone built around you. If the story hit home or gave you chills, give it a like. Have you ever had to expose a toxic family member? Tell us in the comments. We're listening. And don't forget to subscribe for more real-life stories of justice, healing, and redemption. See you in the next one.